Can you guys hear me now? Someone said there was no sound. Is there actually no sound on here? It was connected to my headphones, so I don't know if now it's good to go. Anyways, I'm gonna start this over if there hasn't been any sound the entire time. Yeah, there's been sound the whole time? Okay, cool. Beautiful, I love your brain. So I was, when I was like in middle school or something, there was this band I was really obsessed with called Barlow Girl, Relationships Aren't for Everyone. Now it is so loud. Okay, well then turn down the volume, guys. Like, you're in control of your computer speaker. Like, it's not on me. No sound until now. Should I start this over, guys? Anyways, I think I can go back in. Anyways, so when I was in middle school, I was really into this band called Barlow Girl, and they had this song that was like, no more dating, I'm just waiting. And it was kind of the whole idea that you shouldn't get into a relationship when you're really young, and you should only get, I don't even know what it's exactly called, like courtship or something. Some people are into that, where you're only in a relationship if your parents are part of it and you're planning to get married and it's this really serious thing. So I wasn't into that when I was younger, but I kind of had the idea like maybe it's a good idea to not be in a serious relationship like in high school or something. And that's kind of still what I think. I wasn't in a relationship until I was in college. And I actually think that that was a really good decision long term, because when I had kind of heartbreak type experience, it destroyed me emotionally. And it kind of made me feel so insecure about, you know, the most innermost parts of myself. And I can't imagine having gone through that heartbreak experience when I was 15 instead of 19. I can't imagine how much that would have devastated my character and just who I am. So I feel really strongly that it's better to push back relationships than to get into relationships when you're really young. And I would never force my children, like make a rule like no dating ever, because I think when that happens, people end up just going behind the parents' back and being in a relationship anyways. But I definitely would want to encourage my children to be careful and with who you're getting your heart involved with, because I know that when we're young, it's so easy to be impulsive and to share and be completely raw and emotionally open about all of the most private parts of ourselves. And then if you open up so fast and then it ends, it can be the most devastating thing. And I had a realization pretty recently that not everyone goes through breakups in life. Like, I literally know people who are married now who never had a devastating, horrible, heartbreak type experience ever. Like, there's people who never have to go through that. And so I think that we don't need to put ourselves in situations that are setting us up to get hurt. I don't think there's anything objectively positive about being in a horrible breakup. I don't think you need to experience that in life. I think it's good in that it encourages you to help other people who are dealing with that, but I don't think there's anything intrinsically beneficial about getting your heart broken. So that's kind of my thing on it. My first relationship was during my senior year of high school. I was 17, and I definitely wish I would have waited until college, but at the same time, he was Catholic, so here I am now thanks to him. Yeah, and I think it's interesting looking back too, because it's like my first boyfriend was also Catholic, and I almost wish that we had been friends longer before we were in a relationship. And if we had stayed in a relationship, I probably would have become Catholic when I was with him, rather than just like single on my own became Catholic. But I'm a parent of 3 teenagers. You are right, spot on. Thank God. Thank you. God bless you. Yeah. So I've also been meeting people recently who are in their mid-20s, and their first relationship is happening right now. Like, one of my best friends, her boyfriend is 2 years younger than me, so 23, and she's his first ever girlfriend, ever. And I think it's so cool. He said he never met anyone before her who he thought he wanted to put the time in to be in a relationship with. And that's so honorary. That's amazing that you have such a high standard that you're not going to waste your time in a relationship just to be in a relationship. Like, there's some people who go from relationship to relationship to relationship because they just like being in a relationship rather than wanting a very, very specific type of person to spend your life with. And so I think that you shouldn't be ashamed, and it should be more normal to be single for long periods of time. And I think that our culture is very into hooking up, obviously, but I think that when you go from boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend, or girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend, and you're constantly looking for someone to be with, it encourages physically impulsive behavior, and it encourages sex before marriage. Whereas if you only are in a very small amount of really, really serious relationships, then it's less likely that you're going to be as physical with other people, because you're viewing it in such a special way. Like, wow, I've only been with 2 people in my entire life, and I only am physically intimate in any way with someone if I actually really, really love them. And so I think it gets less confusing about physical boundaries if you're only with a few people in your life. No thanks, I'd rather spend my money elsewhere. I don't like experiences because they leave scars. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it is true that the people who love you the most will hurt you. But now that I'm in a really healthy relationship, I've thought it through, and I was saying this yesterday when I was live streaming, that if we broke up, I wouldn't become like insecure inherently in my personhood. I wouldn't be like deeply wounded if my boyfriend and I broke up right now. And so it's not necessary to be so young and inexperienced and not know how to communicate and hurt each other unnecessarily. Like, it's completely avoidable if you wait until you are more mature and more confident to enter into a relationship. I am 33, always been single. Yeah, and that's totally fine. And I think too, millennials are actually dating less, getting married less, having sex less. And one of the positive things that has come out of it is that we have more friendships and we're interacting more with friends in our lives. I think that's a beautiful thing, that we're actually closer to people in our lives because we're not only focused on being in a family and having a relationship and having kids. And, you know, there's nothing inherently wrong with any of that. But I think that it's a really positive thing if our culture is promoting being friends with people. So I think that's a really positive thing. I'm charging my phone right now. Okay, cool. Actually, what is my computer at? I think I'm just gonna take my computer with me over here because the lighting was really, really good. You're 33. I'm not 33. No, I was reading a comment of someone who is 33. I've been in only 2 relationships in my life, which is crazy. Like, a lot of people would say that's crazy, and it isn't like I wasn't like talking to guys I was interested in. I just was never like officially in a relationship, and I wasn't like physically intimate with anyone, and I think that's great. I'm 25 now, and the guy I'm currently with probably will marry, and I think it's really special that I've only been like that emotionally intimate with him. You know, like, of everyone in my life, there are so many relationship things, like emotionally, that he knows that no one else has ever known. And I think that it's so beautiful that it's special. It's not like I've had a boyfriend since I was 15 years old, and I've been with like 10 guys throughout my life, but it's like, wow, it's so special that I only have this amount of like emotional and spiritual vulnerability with such a few amount of people. I don't understand why this person is constantly talking about like donating money and then talking about toilet humor. It's really, really weird. So it's so weird because he's not being sexually explicit, so I can't technically be like mad about it, but it's just kind of odd. But yeah. Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say, that I think it's really good to wait until being in a serious relationship. I'm 33, just always been a very independent person, so I've never ever got into a relationship. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say too. So number 1, it's good because we're becoming friends with more people, and millennials are having more friendships, less divorces, less sex, which I think less casual sex is a positive thing. It reduces the abortion rate, it reduces sexually transmitted diseases, it reduces heartbreak. I mean, it's a great thing to have less sex outside of marriage. I think that's a positive thing. But I also believe that when you're in a relationship, it takes your focus off of having so many close friends, but also off of your career. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me here and be like, when you're in a relationship, you can still have close friends, you can still find yourself, you can still grow, you can still do all these activities. And absolutely, like, my boyfriend pushes me so much to work even harder on my YouTube channel, but it's just a fact. that I haven't had as much time for friends in my life. I would have more time to put into my YouTube channel and my career as a whole if I was single and not in a relationship. So I think it's positive that throughout most of my like high school, college experience, through most of my like young adult life, I've been single and I've been able to have flourishing, amazing friendships with people, but I've also been able to work. I think that's great. I've been able to have so many creative outlets that I wouldn't have been able to do if I'd been in a serious relationship, and I think time is so important. And if you are going to be married in the future, which most people, well, it's not that hard to find someone to marry. It's pretty easy. Most people want to get married in society. You have the rest of your life of being in that really like close, intimate relationship. And so I think it's fine to like kind of take away, guard some of your time when you're younger, and then later on fully commit to someone in a relationship. And this is kind of how our parents' generation did it, where they would go on like casual dates with people and get to know people, and that's what dating was. But now dating is being extremely emotionally, physically exclusive with one person, and now it's becoming people are like more polygamy-esque, polyamorous, multiple partners, but I don't even know how to analyze that. But right now we're at a point where it's like a new thing in world history where people are in these really close dating relationships before marriage. It used to be like casually dating, okay, engaged, okay, marriage. Now it's like, let's be in like multiple really serious relationships that are not married throughout life. I think it's unhealthy. I really think it's unhealthy. And I think it's good if you can have, like, you learn a lot about yourself in a relationship. You become so spiritually close to someone that you wouldn't in other situations. So I think that's a great thing. But I think that when you have too many of those, it's just setting yourself up to get hurt and to hurt other people. But something I do want to talk about and promote is dating apps. I think 3 of the weddings I'm going to this year, they met on Bumble, and they're in Christian relationships, Catholic relationships, and they met on dating apps. And I think that it's amazing, so amazing to be using technology. Oh my gosh, people just like right when I said dating apps, they like left the conversation, didn't want to be here anymore. They have their pros and cons. You should interview the fart guy, would love to see who it is. It's like a 13-year-old, you know? How many people in this world getting premarital sex with BF or GF because of relationship? Greetings, Rihanna, when I was like, work, which actually I think means sex in her native language or something. When you're single, you can just book a flight somewhere or travel the next day and who cares? I mean, I'm in a relationship and I still do that because we're not living together and we're long distance, so I can still like travel wherever I want to. And it's a real thing if we got married and we had a home together and everything, I don't think he would be chill with me just like never being there and like being out all the time. You kind of have to like commit to being part of that. How often do you get your hair done? Every 2 years. I'm serious. I got my hair ombre bleached in 2017 and I haven't done anything yet. I did have my friend trim it a few months ago and it was my first time getting it trimmed in 2 years, but I don't like people messing with my hair. I'm very protective of it. I like it long, so I just don't let people mess with my hair. I bleached my hair like when I was in high school and stuff. I just used hydrogen peroxide and I did it by myself. So my first time ever having someone professionally do my hair was in 2017 when I was like 22, just because I don't trust people with my hair, because I had some experiences when I was younger where people like cut my hair so short, and so now I'm like hands off, I'll never get a haircut, I don't trust you. But it's kind of a debate right now if people want me to go like all the way blonde, like all my hair this from the top, or if you want me to stay like my natural color. Someone commented on my last live stream and they're like, you should do quadruple ombre as your next hair. I'm not a girl, but is it bad to bleach your hair? No, it's not weird to bleach your hair. A lot of guys do that nowadays. Dating apps though. So yeah, a lot of like 3 of the weddings I'm going to this year, they met on dating apps, and I think that it's really cool because people are so busy all the time. Especially like once you're in your 20s and you're working full time and you're doing school at the same time, it's really hard to go to places to meet people, and on the dating apps you can say like you only want to go on a date with a Christian or with a Catholic, and literally like the weddings I've been to, like my closest friends from college who've gotten married, who have these beautiful relationships, it's from a dating app. So I highly recommend, if you've never been in a relationship, to use a dating app, because it's the way everyone I know is falling in love, and it's really beautiful, and I wish you could see the relationships that I'm talking and thinking about right now, and it's so amazing that they met that way. And you might think that it's like not as romantic, but it's becoming so normal, and I think it's just as romantic as if you met like in class or something. So yeah, highly recommend using dating apps. When I was single, I made it a challenge to not look for someone on dating apps because I don't believe in them. 1 year later, I ran into my boyfriend on my travels, like literally on the street. So I mean, that's not that much different from a dating app. You're just like meeting a stranger, right? I hate dating too many cray-cray people. Yeah, and I mean, one of my friends who I'm gonna be in her wedding, she said that I want to work at Ascension Presents. I'll text Jackie Angel and ask her for you. I think she has known them for a long time. What were we saying? Oh, if you meet someone on the street, that's a stranger just as much as in a dating app. There's a dark side to what you're saying, though. Not dating young means that you have no relationship experience, so you won't know how to screen guys when you get older. Not a good position to be in. Okay, but do you really think that you can't learn that from like a parent or a mentor or a sibling on how to screen guys? Like, you have to go through bad experiences of dealing with horrible guys to be able to screen guys? I mean, I don't think that's a good thing to say either. I think that you can learn that from talking to people in your life. How do you stay so fit? I go running every single day. I also do a lot of like HIIT training, like high intensity interval training. So I do a lot of like push-ups, I do lay down push-ups, and then I do like tricep dips like on a bench. So I'll put my hands like this and then like go like up and down kind of thing. And then I do hanging abs from like monkey bars like in a playground, and then I like do like leg raises like that. And then I do butt workouts, and I do a lot of different ab YouTube things. So your arms are on point, thank you. Yeah, I've been training my arms and my back so much lately. So yeah, I do weights at the gym, but I would say that in regards to how your body looks, abs are made in the gym and shown in the kitchen. So you have to eat really healthy. I'm vegan. Vegan food naturally is lower calorie, but it has more fiber in it, so it's more filling. So if you eat vegan, it's an easy way to make sure that you don't overeat. So I can tell, great job. I feel like online dating with apps and stuff can be so dangerous, but it's not. Like, so many people I know are married now because of the app. You never really know who you're actually going to meet because so many people lie on the apps. So that's true, but that's why you always meet in a public place, like a really public place in the middle of the day, not at night. Only be in a place where other people are. Like, I think it's so easy to screen things in a way so that you're not dealing with those situations. I eat rice and vegetables and chicken. Instead, you could eat rice and vegetables and fake meat from Gardein or Morningstar. It's such an easy way to eat vegan. It's also easy to undereat when you're vegan. Yes, so vegan diets can be high carb, watch out. I am a high carb diet. I eat like 70 to 80% carbs, and look at my body. Carbs do not make you fat. If you eat healthy carbs, so like brown rice, 100% whole grain bread and pasta. If you're eating fruits and vegetables, all of those are carbs, and they're going to make your body slim down. You're not going to get fat if you're eating healthy carbs. Make sure that everything you are eating has at least 3 to 4 grams of fiber in it. Noodles, pasta, rice, bread have fiber in them. But I promise, carbs make you slim down. Every single cell in your body runs on glucose. High protein diets, protein from animal products, so like milk, dairy, and meat, that type of protein is called casein, and it causes cancer, it causes multiple sclerosis, MS, breast cancer, so many things from casein protein. It's really horrible for you. And also, they're really high in fat content. So saturated fat, omega-6, you want most of your diet to be unsaturated fat, polyunsaturated fat, monounsaturated fat, which are in vegan products like nuts and seeds, avocado. So if you're going to eat meat, for your protein source, you automatically are going to be unhealthy. So if you want to eat a high protein diet, it's so easy. Protein causes MS, animal protein, not protein, but animal protein called casein. I don't know if it's casein or casein, but I recommend a movie called Food Inc. because it talks about how in countries that do not eat a high amount of casein protein, MS doesn't exist. Like heart disease doesn't exist. Breast cancer and colon cancer don't exist. Like these diseases only exist in Western countries that eat such a high amount of casein protein. So, and they did a study with rats with casein protein, just giving them straight up the protein from meat and eggs and dairy, and it turned on and turned off cancer, depending on how much they gave. So if you do know anyone with cancer, I highly recommend showing them the movie Forks Over Knives, not Food Inc., Forks Over Knives. It just explains how you can literally turn on and turn off cancer, certain types of cancer, and a lot of diseases. So type 2 diabetes, you can reverse as well. Yep. What about eggs? Eggs are really unhealthy too. They have a lot of saturated fat in them. They have the casein protein. Eggs are considered a carcinogen on the FDA website. It's honestly healthier to smoke a cigarette than to eat an egg. So they're really bad. You can tell you're toning right when you get that cool bicep vein. Forks Over Knives. I hope she is not in a relationship with an alcoholic. He probably is drinking right now. I don't know about this. I had an amazing relationship through an app, but he wasn't Catholic. But like my friends who are Catholic have found Catholic guys through the app. Protein causes MS, animal protein, casein. So if you're getting, it's the type of protein. Because eating meat doesn't automatically give you these diseases, but eating such a high quantity is the problem. It's like a new thing in world history to eat that much meat, dairy, and eggs. My friend Lizzie, God's joy, and stay hydrated. Yes, so with working out, what's more important or just as important as eating protein after a workout is staying hydrated, because your muscles are composed of so much water. So definitely drink a lot of water when working out. Make sure to thumbs up this video, guys, so that more people can see it once it's uploaded. What are your thoughts on the law of attraction? What do you mean by the law of attraction? Do you consider refried beans to be healthy? Yes. Is it normal that I analyze every guy I know and calculate the chances of us being together? Not normal at all. You're crazy. I'm just kidding. I feel like a freak, but I can't help it. No. You just analyze things very in depth, and that's such a positive skill. Like in a work situation, that's amazing. In relationships, it's amazing. It's going to help you to have healthier relationships, understanding why things are going well, why things are not, why you're fighting, why you're clashing. So I think that's an amazing trait. It's just not, it's a bizarre behavior though. Eat lean meats with good veggies and carbs, you'll be good. That's what I do. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna eat meat, eat white meat and not red meat, and cut out dairy completely. You do not need dairy in your diet. Dairy is for baby cows to become 400-pound cows. That's what cow milk is for. Vegan diets can be high carb, watch out. I eat a high carb diet. Look at my body. Like, it doesn't make you get fat. It's hard to trust people on dating apps. That's why I recommend meeting their family and everything. I used to squat 500 pounds. So you think if I go vegan, I'll get better? You'll definitely lose weight if you go vegan. Why don't Catholics eat a kosher diet? Because in the book of Acts, God gave Peter a vision that they don't have to go by the Old Testament food laws. God made chicken eggs, they're good for you. Smoking is way worse. God also created the chemical compounds that go into cigarettes. Like, I don't understand your point. The FDA disagrees with you. I feel like I got really healthy on keto. The reason you get healthy on keto, correlation does not imply causation. So the keto diet has you cut out processed food. So sugar, white flour, butter. Actually, you can eat butter on keto diet, but if you're eating like a lot of processed, like white bread, white cookies, white baked goods, all of those things, the processed sugar, it has you cut out. I also recommend cutting out processed sugar, but you can do that on a vegan diet as well. Please hit her like button. Yeah, thumbs up this video, guys. Thank you so much. I already lost weight. I don't want to lose any more. I'm actually fit. Oh, okay. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Definitely chickens, because I think that they evolved over time, right? Meats are good for you nonetheless, good sources of protein. There's also bone broth from animal carcasses, which is very nutritious. So I disagree. So you think if I go vegan, okay, why don't, oh, we already answered that. Back to the original topic of the video though, do you guys want me to talk more about relationship stuff? Because I feel like that was pretty much like my rant, what I wanted to say. I think it's really great to get into relationships when you're older, and I'm not saying that like if you meet someone in middle school it can't work. Like obviously staying in a relationship is really simple, just don't get divorced, don't cheat on the person, don't be abusive. It's pretty easy to stay in a relationship. I mean, if the other person is cheating on you or abusing you, obviously get out, but in general most people who get divorced, it's just because they're not choosing to stay committed in marriage. So anyone can stay committed, but I think it's easier when you're older and know yourself more to choose someone who you'll be more compatible with. So like my parents, they both actually were almost engaged to other people and then left those people, and so they didn't get married until they're in like their mid-30s. But mid to late 30s, they have like the perfect relationship. Like they never fight, they see eye to eye, they agree ideologically on everything, and so it's so easy for them to be in a relationship together. And of course they could have helped each other get to heaven with other people. They could have had great relationships and marriages with other people, but it's easier with that person. And so because they weren't in like serious relationships as early, that really helped them long term. I'm super married and happy, and I love my wife a lot. LOL, God bless you all. I'm super married compared to being regular married. What does that even mean? Yeah, I agree. Eggs are much better than smoking. The FDA disagrees with you though. Okay, my point is eggs don't cause lung cancer. They do though. That's the thing. You can turn on and turn off lung cancer by animal protein. God bless you. Love the videos. Obviously both are carcinogens, you know. You look thin. How much do you weigh? 60 kilograms. You cannot be more heavy than me. I don't know, you can convert what it is, but I weigh 135 in pounds. I'm 5'7", 5'8" though, so that's why. I think I definitely should have waited. Now I'm 25 and focusing on being single and working on myself. It's good to try to kick a pornography addiction before getting into a serious relationship. Absolutely. Can you get a divorce when you're a Catholic? Yes, you just cannot get remarried unless you get an annulment. So an annulment means that you were never married in the first place. So an annulment would be if you got married with the intention of not having kids, or if I was in a manic episode and married someone, I wasn't in control of that decision. So you can get an annulment, which means you were never married, it was never a valid marriage, and then get married officially to someone else, but you can't get remarried. So I think that's really good. Like it forces you to really, really think when you get married, because it's like, my boyfriend said it this way, I thought it was really sweet. Like if we get married, we're vowing to each other to only have sex with each other for the rest of our lives unless someone your body to just that one person. So I think it's pretty romantic. Loyal subscriber from the Philippines, thank you for your knowledge about the Catholic Church. Thank you for joining us. We're the fact about eggs causing cancer, if you don't mind. The FDA, Food and Drug Administration. I recommend watching the documentary Forks Over Knives. It shares that in the movie. Just watch the documentary. It has like a ton of research in it. The law of attraction basically says that you attract what you think about. There's so much more to this, but basically belief systems will show up in your reality. I don't think I agree with that then. Seems kind of odd. I think I definitely should have waited. Oh, we already read that. It's basically Mark 11:24. I would say it's more harmful for a vegan to smoke than it is for a meat eater to not smoke. My parents are each other's first BF and GF, their goals, but I feel like it's unrealistic for me. Yeah, that is really sweet. And that's why I think like if you wait and then you're your first person, that's really sweet. Like, yeah. What version of the Bible do you read? The New American Bible. NAB? Yeah, I think so. Lizzie, if you were my daughter, I would be so proud of you. Oh, that makes me happy. My people are always like, your parents must be so proud of you, and I'm like, I actually don't think so, because they don't like that I'm Catholic, so they don't like anything I'm doing. Like, they're not proud of it. So it's sweet when people say that to me, because I'm like, yeah, I never get that affirmation from my parents. So yeah, thank you for saying that. It means a lot. Not that I need my parents' affirmation, but it's nice to have affirmation sometimes, you know. How long do you think people should wait before they get engaged? So I think it doesn't matter. Because I think that if you're the type of person who will decide to stay married, like I said, marriage is one of the hardest things in life, but it's simple. It's really, really easy to decide, I will never get divorced, I will never cheat on this person, and I will not abuse them, and I will apologize and die to myself daily. That's really hard, but it's simple. And so if you're the type of person who can stay close to Christ, make that the core of your relationship, commit to doing all of those things, and to staying loyal, then it doesn't matter how long you know the person. It doesn't matter when you get engaged. It'll be maybe easier if you know them, if you're more compatible. But I don't think it matters. So like one of my friends who got married a couple months ago, she only knew the guy for like 2 months before they got engaged, and then they got married after knowing each other for just 8 months, and they're gonna stay married for life, absolutely, because both of them are so centered on Christ. One of my other friends got married after a year of dating, and they're getting married in December, so it'll be like 2 years and a few months of knowing each other, of when they started dating to when they get married. So I've been in a relationship for 2 years, and we're not going to get married until like 4 years of knowing each other. So it's totally up to everyone. I personally I don't know. I just don't want to get married that soon. I wouldn't want to like rush into that permanent of a thing when you have the rest of your life to do that. But I think it's totally up to every relationship. I don't think you need to wait longer. I don't think that would make it a more successful relationship. I just know that like for the health of my relationship, I don't want to rush into it. So, like a lot of people are pressuring me to like rush into a relationship, like just get married, what are you waiting for, just get married. And it's like, I don't want to just get married. Like I just don't want to. So it's totally up to you and your partner and what you guys need. OMG, miss, I'm going to ask you a huge favor. If I share some very deeply godly videos with you, will you watch them? God put it on my heart to share them. Yes, DM them to me on Twitter and I'll see them. Twitter's the best place to message me. Hey Lizzie, God bless you. God bless you. Do you recommend any dating apps for Catholics? Bumble. How long do you think? It's not like a Catholic app, but just say you're Catholic on the profile. And oh my gosh, so one of my friends who just got married to one of my friends, so I'm friends with him now, he said that he put that he's Catholic on his Bumble profile, and he got in so many theology debates on Bumble, and women were trying to convert him out of Catholicism, so it's a great evangelism opportunity too if you make a Bumble account, you know? How long do you think people should wait? Oh, I already answered that. Let's see. What version? Oh, we did that. Lizzie, if you were, how long? Okay, sorry guys, I keep repeating. Plus, my parents go to evangelization courses together. They're my faith goals as well. Your parents should be your relationship goals. That's the ideal. Are you the only Catholic in your family? Yes. So my boyfriend's family, generations back, is Catholic. They all left the faith, so he came back to the faith, and like his ancestors were probably like praying in heaven for everyone in their family, and they're like, yes, we finally got one. But my family going back is Protestant and non-religious. I'm not on Twitter. Can I Gmail them to you? Yes, LizziesAnswers@gmail.com. So my first and my last name. Hello, Lizzie from Corpus Christi, Texas. That's literally a city in Texas. That's so cool. I tries Hot or Not and Catholic Match. I don't do paying subscriptions though. Definitely use like an iPhone app, like, or Android app, like Bumble. Those are where like the new people, like the hip people are at. Hi Lizzie, hi Amy, hi Alexander. You remember how people couldn't pronounce your name last live stream, Alexander? It's like the easiest name to pronounce. Like there's nothing weird about how your name is spelled. Everyone was like, how is that spelled? Like, have you never met anyone? Like, I'm pretty sure one of our founding fathers, like Alexander Hamilton, right? Like, I don't understand. Hello from Nashville, Tennessee. Hi! I spent so much time in Nashville. My boyfriend was living there for a few years, so I would always visit, and it was a really great city, and it has the #1 conversion rate of Catholicism in the country, so cool. Hi, Lizzie from Manitoba, Canada. Hi! So I had a, like, emergency last night where I'm actually off one of my medicines because I couldn't get it in time, but I just called the pharmacy, and they have it now. But I was in the pharmacy crying for 2 hours on the phone with my psychiatrist office, and they kept lying to me about having sent the medicine in, because I'm talking to the pharmacy and they're like, no medicine has been sent in, and I'm on the phone and they're like, yeah, we're sending it in. And then I figured out that their policy is, so I live in Los Angeles, they were sending the prescription, I'm traveling right now, They were sending the prescription to someone in Newport Beach. So they contacted someone in Newport Beach to send in a prescription when they physically are in an office with like 8 different psychiatrists. Like literally stand up from your desk, walk over, knock on someone's door, and have them write the prescription. So then I called them back and they're like, yeah, like we assigned your prescription to one psychiatrist. Whenever she gets to it, it'll be fine. And meanwhile, it's almost like the pharmacy's about to close, the workday's almost over, they're gonna all be going home. I have horrible withdrawals from this medicine. Like I woke up and I was so dizzy, I felt so sick, and I've been like pushing through it, and I had coffee and I feel better, but it's like when I'm completely out of my medicine, they put 0 effort. Like I literally had to be so dramatic, like crying on the phone, so angry for them to not just like hang up and be like, we sent it to someone. And so finally they like got in contact with my actual psychiatrist who was like not in for the day. And they're like, she sent it in. And I was like, is sending or past tense? Like, can we explain what's going on? And then I'm at the pharmacy and they're like, no, she never sent it. And they're like, yeah, it might take like 5 or 10 minutes. And the pharmacy's like, no, it's instantaneous when they send it. And so then they're like, okay, we'll ask someone else. And it's like they constantly are lying about whether or not the medicine is sent in. And this has been happening for years. So after this experience, I'm getting a brand new psychiatrist because I love my psychiatrist, but the office I just cannot deal with. Like anytime something goes wrong, they don't care about you at all. And I literally wish they would get sued for someone's death, because you literally have people who will kill themselves. That's like a side effect of their mental illness and not being medicated. And so it's just infuriating that they can't take seriously people's lives. Like people's lives are on the line and they can't help people get medicine. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'll read your comments. Anyways, I went on that rant because when I was in Canada for a couple days, they got me my bipolar meds immediately, and I was like, why is Canada so easy? Lizzie, I go through so much because I stumbled into a Protestant church first, then went to my Catholic roots. Now my family treats me like crap, so I feel for you. That's so sad. Sacrifices for Christ, you know. Praying for you who's starting RCIA. Makes sense. They think it's pronounced Alexandra. Alexander. Huh. Yeah, they're wrong. They're wrong and stupid. How is it that hard? Like, I'm horrible at pronouncing things. That's the thing, guys. Like, I'm so bad at pronouncing things, and even I can figure it out. I'm about to be one of those converts in the NSSH Catholic growth rate, and I couldn't be more happy about it. Thank you, Veronica. Hi, Lizzie from the Czech Republic. Hello. Amy Marie, oh yeah, I just saw you on Twitter, Amy Marie. I start next week, too. I'm so excited. Praying for you. Yay, everyone who's starting RCIA. That's so exciting. I told the Catholic Church approved divorce based on lies, falsehood, what? I wonder if I can go to RCIA when I'm already Catholic. You can, yeah. There's tons of people in RCIA class who are already Catholic and are just like attending because they want to get to know people more. Hi, Lizzie from California Republic. California Republic. Can't imagine being without my meds. I would be so violent without my meds. I would be hospitalized. Yeah. No, that's what I told them. I was like, do you want me to go to a psych ward? And I was already manic yesterday and maybe today too, because I can tell when I'm manic because I wake up in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. and I like want to start my day and I like force myself to go back to sleep. So that happened, and so I knew I was already manic. And then if I was off my mood stabilizer, yeah, so I was literally telling them like, do you want me to go to a psych ward? What do you want me to do? So it's just insane how they have 0 empathy for the situation and 0 urgency. It's infuriating. Like, all those people should be fired. If you work for like working for a psychiatrist's office, I think because it's a desk job, they don't realize how serious it is. But it's just as serious as if you worked in an ER unit. Like, you should have the same attitude, you know, and like valuing people's lives and stuff. Universal healthcare. Yeah, I can't imagine. Hi, Lizzie, you're awesome. Hi, Donovan. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Donovan. Hi, Amy. Yes, you can, Veronica. RCA is for everyone. Alexander. Oh. Eleva is just the French word for student. Oh, that's cool. Hi, Lizzie. I'm from Los Angeles Republic. I'm from Los Angeles Republic, too. We should meet up sometime. I can send you the vids through the Gmail that says for business inquiries, right? No, do the other Gmail. Lizzie Rize, like my Instagram name or my Twitter name. The same spelling. I have to go through an annulment. Like if you send it to my business email, I'm just gonna delete it because my business email is only for business stuff and I can't have it with other stuff in it. Universal healthcare is unchristian. How is healthcare not Christian? The Catholic Church created hospitals. I think it's the opposite. Anyways, I don't want to get in a healthcare debate because I think the healthcare system is really confusing. One of the reasons it's so expensive is because we eat too much meat and dairy and eggs, and it gives us, the movie I recommend, Forks Over Knives, said our healthcare costs would be cut by 70% if people would just eat less animal products. Because so many things like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, strokes, MS, all these things are caused by unhealthy diets. So heart attacks, heart disease. So we wouldn't have to be doing all of these surgeries. What is a healthy relationship for you? Like, what does it mean? I think being able to trust someone and honesty, not hiding things from people, feeling like you can share everything. There's this line in a new Taylor Swift song that is really good, and she says, I said I'm fine, but it wasn't true. I don't want to keep secrets just to keep you. But she like screams it in the song. Said I'm fine, but it wasn't true. I don't want to keep secrets just to keep you and I. Like that. So I think that's a really good point about relationships. LizziesAnswers@gmail.com, right? Yes. Thank you so much for making sure you send it to the right email. That makes me feel very loved that I don't get everything. Forks Over Knives is really good. The brain is an organ like everything else. It needs healthcare like anything else. Duh. Yep, it's an organ like everything else. You want to go soon? I can be done.
I have to take medicine.
Okay. Aw, all the time.
All the time.
You need to do Botox, I promise. I want my friend to do Botox for headaches. You don't do like your face, you would do like your head or something like that. But apparently it's supposed to help with headaches. So have you guys heard about that? It's supposed to be really good. Ha 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 ha. I love Taylor Swift. Me too. She has really good music. I need to get food soon too. Said I'm fine, but it wasn't true. I don't wanna keep secrets just to keep you and I. Thank you. I love you with Jesus love, which is what we all need. We do all need Jesus love. Absolutely. Hey, hi communism capitalism. That's such a great username. Oh my gosh, communism capitalism. Wow. Is it a sin to cheat? Yes. Adultery is one of the 10 commandments. It's one of the most serious mortal sins. Like, you'll go to hell if you cheat on your spouse. Absolutely. If you go to confession, though, you won't go to hell if you repent of it and don't do it again. Lizzie, is there... I mean, if you do it again, you can keep going to confession. But, I mean, you have to have the intention of never doing it again when you're at confession, right? Lizzie, is there any vegan company you recommend for makeup wipes for your face? No, but I recommend going on the PETA website, and they have a list of all the makeup companies that are fine to use. Like, there's a lot of loads of companies that I use a makeup remover that's just like a liquid thing. I forget the name of it, but that it's not tested on animals. How do you show makeup remover wipes have alcohol in them so they can make your skin get like wrinkled long term? So I recommend using like a liquid makeup remover wash thing, and then like with like a cotton ball or cotton swab or something. So I recommend that. I love the documentary Cowconspiracy. Yep, it's really good too. How do you show interest in a guy without seeming weird? Just ask questions and talking, because if you're interested in someone, then you would just like ask questions and more questions and more questions. And when you listen to people, if you're like flirting, although this isn't flirting, this is just talking, but it's flirting, showing interest, you want to have your body facing them. So let's say like I'm flirting with you guys. Instead of being like this talking to someone, be like this talking to someone, and eye contact and like being very attentive. So like nodding and being like, oh, yeah, like making, you know, normal listening sounds when you're paying attention to them. And yeah, so just talking to them, asking questions, getting to know someone, because that's really what a relationship is all about, right? Is What the Health a good documentary? It seems like a hoax. It does seem like a hoax. Yeah, I watched there's this YouTuber I like called Unnatural Vegan, and she did a review of it, and it was really bad science. So do not recommend that one. How do I get a girl to like me? Do I need a six-pack? Absolutely not. My boyfriend doesn't have a six-pack, and honestly, if you're modest around each other, you wouldn't even know if someone has a six-pack. Like, I've been to the beach with my boyfriend, but I don't regularly look at him without a shirt on, like, ever. Sometimes if we're at the beach. But, yeah, so if you're in a modest Christian relationship, then shouldn't really matter that much if anyone has abs. Why did you choose the Roman Catholic Church over Episcopalian? I know you mentioned you briefly considered the Episcopal Church. Yeah, I did, just because I liked how it was more liberal when it came to gay marriage and using birth control. But that was like the only reason, because theologically I thought it agreed with me. But then I realized that it's not about my intuitions, but changing my intuitions to fit with truth. Because my intuitions are probably wrong. Because everyone has intuition, so it's not about finding what fits you, but fitting yourself to what is true. So basically, the Anglican Church left the Catholic Church because King Henry VIII wanted to get a divorce, and he was not allowed to get a divorce in the Catholic Church, so he went and started his own church. That's not a reason for a church to be true. I mean, that should be like a blatant red flag that it's not true. I will go. Bye-bye, guys. For now, I have to work. Bye, Bobby. How often do you need to go to confession? I try to go every 2 weeks or every month. I used to really, really enjoy going to confession, but almost to the point where like I wanted reasons to go to confession, and I was being kind of scrupulous about it because I really enjoyed it so much. But it's just like the feeling of being forgiven and that vulnerability with God, I really like it. But I was thinking on Sunday, because there's nothing for me to confess, I was thinking it's actually really good to not have things to confess. Like, that's just as beautiful as going to confession, that you've stayed so close to God and you're not harming yourself. Like, that's beautiful in itself, like being in mass and saying the like I have greatly sinned prayer with everyone, but that's it when it comes to like repenting of things you're doing. So yeah, but at least once a month, I think. My Orthodox friend told me that the Pope was only created around the Great Schism. Is that true? Absolutely not. The Roman bishop was created with Peter. Like, there are records of the lineages of the Pope, of all the bishops, from starting in the 1st century onward. Like in Eusebius's church history, it literally has like this Pope and this Pope and this Pope and this Pope going all the way back. The issue was the role of the Pope, so he became more of a political leader after the fall of Rome, because literally they didn't have a government and the church was really strong, and so they kind of took over, and so that role became bigger than what it was originally, which doesn't mean it's wrong, it just means that it changed. And so the Eastern Church, which at the time was with the Catholic Church, had a problem with that. But that doesn't mean that it didn't exist, it just means that the role changed over time. But it still had that original core of being the first among equals, which the Orthodox Church still agrees with. They just changed the first among equals from the Roman bishop to the Constantinople bishop. So how can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real? Lizzie, do you like cats? I love cats. I had put having a cat on my Christmas list starting when I was 5 years old. And we finally got a cat when I was 11 because I had a viola tutor at the time, so we would go over on Sunday for 30-minute lessons, and my sister had her violin lesson for 30 minutes, and then I had my viola lesson afterwards. And so she had a cat that she had adopted because on Christmas Day, her cat came to her door and he was like really cold, it was the snow, and he was meowing. So she took him in because he had nowhere to go and named him Christmas. And so then we were playing with him during my sister's like violin lesson. And then we asked her, she said like he needed someone to adopt, so we took him home, and yeah, so he's our cat now. And it was sad going to college and leaving him for sure. Cats is a love. Okay, now we need to hear you play the viola, Liz. I don't have my viola with me, but the next time I'm in Florida, how about I'll do a live stream playing my viola for you guys and guitar. We can do a concert. Why do vegan people look more beautiful? Because we eat more fruits and vegetables, so it like makes your skin glow and everything, and it clears out your skin, it makes your hair grow faster, your nails grow faster, it makes your body slimmer. So I think that just like objective beauty things, you know, happen. I have 2 cats. What are their names? What is a viola? It's like a violin. So it literally looks like equivalent to a violin, but a violin has E, A, D, G strings, and a viola has A, D, G, C strings. So a cello also has A, D, G, C strings. So the cello and the viola have the same amount of strings, but a cello is like huge, and a viola is like the same size as a violin, a tiny bit bigger. So, yeah. I have 2 cats and 7 dogs. Where do you live? On a farm? That's too many animals. Like, I'm glad they have homes, but I could not do that. My cats are Daisy and Nico. I'll send pictures on Twitter. Aw. Are you against gay marriage or birth control because of your religion? Yes. 4 pugs. Wow, that's so many pugs. But obviously, gay marriage being legalized has nothing to do with our church never having gay marriage ever. And it's the same thing with like birth control, where I don't use birth control, but that doesn't mean I want birth control to become like illegal and something you should be like go to jail for, or that like gay marriage should be something you should go to jail for. Like, I don't agree with that at all. But like within my religion, we don't have those things, and I don't want them to ever be a part of Catholicism. A viola is a violin for cool kids. Yep. It's like edgy to play viola instead of violin, and it's cool too because it's easier to be like better at viola because there's less people, so there's like less competition. So when it comes to like getting a good spot in your orchestra or getting more solo pieces, it's like easier. That's not why I picked it. I don't know. I just like wanted it to be different, I guess. So you pronounced Nico's name right. Yay! I had a friend who was named Nico, so I assumed, what do most people pronounce it, like Nico? That's disgusting. Like, obviously it's Nico. That's a cute name, right? Okay. Someone's talking about confession. Regular 2, 3, 4 times a month confession. With regular confession, spiritual director is like an oil change, rotating the tires. Good for you in the car. Grace flows everywhere in your life. It works. Thank you, Lizzie, so much, because I've been diagnosed with clinical depression, and one of the reasons I still live is you and your YouTube channel. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so happy you've been diagnosed. It's so scary having suicidal thoughts. Absolutely. Definitely stay on your medicine. Do not listen to people who say to go off of your medicine. Everyone in my life at one point has been like, go off your meds. Your depression isn't real. So definitely, not everyone in my life, but the majority of people. So don't listen to them. Listen to me. Stay on your medicine. You are beautiful, and you're doing what is best for your health. I am 24 and have never dated anyone. Should I suicide? Absolutely not. What's your opinion about using birth control for medical reasons only? It's allowed in the church, so people should do it so that they don't die from your ovarian cyst exploding. And here's the thing. A lot of people... So the Catholic Church absolutely allows birth control for a medical reason. Like, if you have really heavy periods and you're unable to function, you're allowed to use birth control to regulate that. Or if you have ovarian cysts that are bursting and you're literally going to die, use birth control to help regulate that. As long as you don't intentionally use it to prevent pregnancy, it's totally fine if you are a Catholic. So everyone else can use natural family planning. It totally works. It's pretty easy to do. You just have to put in a little bit of effort into like charting your cycles and stuff. So one of my friends just got married, so she was showing me all her NFP stuff. She's so excited about it. So she's like an app on her phone through it's like FDA approved actually. So she uses that, and she does like, she like pees on a stick and it tells her when she's ovulating and stuff. So, and then they choose to have sex on the days that they could get pregnant. They like decide like, should we have sex today? Like, sure, like I'm open to having a baby today, or no, I want to wait a couple of years to have a baby. So I thought birth control wasn't good. Ascension Presents just talked about it. Yeah, and I talked to Jackie Angel, like we actually hung out in person, we were making a video together. So I talked to her about it, but there are doctors who will treat things like ovarian cysts in like a natural way, but it's really, really hard to find a doctor who does that. So I think her video could be encouraging people to go off their birth control without finding that kind of doctor and making sure that the problem is taken care of. So I do not recommend blindly going off birth control if you have PCOS. Like, please stay on your birth control. Make sure 100% that you're treating it with a doctor who has other options as a way to treat it. Most people cannot afford or cannot find a doctor who can treat it in a different way. And so I think it's dangerous what she did in her video in not like really, really intensely being like, guys, you could die. Please stay on your birth control. Yes, we should treat the root of the problem, but at this point, the birth control is treating the symptoms that will kill you, so it's fine to stay on your birth control. So does that make sense? Like, I really liked her videos, and I think it's great that there's more doctors that are coming out with other solutions to PCOS, but obviously, like, if someone's gonna die, you need to make sure that people don't die. So that's my take on it. Can a priest forgive sex outside of marriage? Absolutely. A priest can forgive absolutely everything through God. It's not the priest's power, it's Christ's power, and during the confession, the priest is acting in the person of Christ. So it's no longer the priest there, it's Jesus physically there. I was in the hospital on Friday for PCOS because I couldn't sit up. I had so much pain. Yeah, please stay on your birth control, okay? Don't listen to Catholics who are like, birth control's evil, birth control's giving you cancer. Like, no, it's not. It's medicine for you right now. For baptism of children, is it just promising to bring them up in the religion, or is there more to it? It's for the forgiveness of future sins. So until they need to go to confession, it's like a general cleansing of sin, which obviously the baby doesn't have. But you're right. It's like Jesus describes it as a rebirth. So it's like their birth into the church, and it's a covenant. I recommend, I made a whole video on this. Google like LizziesAnswers baptism, and there's like a 2-part series. One is on infant baptism, and the other one is called, it should be linked in the video, part 2. It's called like, do Catholics think Protestants are saved? But I just titled it to be that, so people will click on it. But the actual video is about like the meaning of baptism in Catholicism. So I talk about how it's part of the covenant, just like how circumcision was a thing for the Jews. So yeah, like baptism of adults forgives all past sins, but obviously children don't have sin, but it like gives them grace to live their life and gives them an indelible mark on their soul of being a Christian. So it's a really, really beautiful thing, and it's kind of like a promise. The parents are promising to bring up this child in the church. So it's like God is marking them as a believer. Hey Lizzie, this is good advice, staying on psychiatric medicines. I learned the hard way, but better now. Thanks, Lizzie. Absolutely. Clickbait, LOL. But I did answer in the video whether or not we think people who are not baptized are saved. So I did talk about it in the video. Why does the Roman Catholic Church teach that Mary was conceived without sin? Because she was. Surely only Jesus was begotten, only he could be without sin. Nothing is impossible with God. That's what the angel actually tells Mary when she says, how can I be pregnant without having sex with a man? She's like, that's impossible, that's crazy. And the angel says, nothing is impossible with God. So nothing is impossible with God. So when we say these things, it's because they happened and they're part of the original doctrines of faith. I will never go off my medicines for bipolar 2. Absolutely, don't go off your medicines. And if you're on birth control for PCOS, don't go off of it until you have a solution from a doctor. What is your video with Jackie Angel called? I tried finding it, but could not. It's not uploaded yet. So it's going to be uploaded in a few days. I'm currently editing it. It's going to be called Jackie Angel Testimony, Career, something like that. You know, I have the title written down. I just don't remember it. Again, thank you for being an inspiration to me. If you have one piece of advice to give to other converts, what would it be? I'm still very new in the process. Okay, when talking to other people about your conversion, which you do all the time, as much as possible, bring up that you're being Catholic. And I recommend being like, I hated Catholicism. I didn't want to become Catholic. I hated Mass at first. I thought this was wrong. I believed lies about it. Like, be very open and vocal about how you didn't think that you would become Catholic and that it's actually because you find that it's true. I think it's really important to share your story with other people, and it's also really important to be compassionate and patient and gentle, because there's a lot of lies about the Catholic Church spread around. Like, we were just talking about infant baptism, and some people believe that Catholics do infant baptism because we think God will send babies to hell if they're not baptized. No one thinks that. That's not the Catholic belief at all. So there's so many lies about Catholic teaching that make people angry because they believe the lies. And so just be chill if someone says a lie about Catholicism and is like, hates Catholicism. Be chill and gracious and gentle in how you respond. And remember that you used to be like that, believing these lies about Catholicism, but you have to be gentle and loving and chill in having conversations, or people won't even listen to you. I heard that Netflix is releasing a movie called The Two Popes with Anthony Hopkins. Hey Lizzie, have you seen our show Catholic Late Night at all? We'd love your thoughts if you'd want to check it out sometime. Catholic Late Night. No, do you want me to come on to the show? Email my business email. Hi, Hannah Green. Hello. Communism, capitalism. How has becoming Catholic changed you? That's an interesting thing. I would say it's made me more introspective about myself. I used to not really analyze my past actions that much, and now I'm constantly on the lookout for things that I could have done better or ways I could have changed. And instead of focusing on the past, I'm like, okay, I think about what I did wrong, I address it, the next day I try to be better. So it's constantly working on being like better and better and better and like the best version of myself, because of confession is forcing me to analyze things that I could do wrong. And then I feel less guilty in general, like I don't regret things because I'm able to confess them and then move on. So it's really cool. It like forces you to think about your past but then not feel guilty about your past. It's a great combination. Have you watched The Young Pope? No, I've seen a lot of clips from it. It looks so cool. I wish it was on Netflix or something, or I would watch it. Hi, communism, capitalism. What are your thoughts on the concept of Catholic feminism? I don't even want to talk about feminism because there are so many different definitions of it, and everyone just fights and hates each other because there are so many different definitions. So we're talking about totally different things. So like when I say feminism, I think, wow, women should have the right to vote. We should be able to own our own bank accounts, which are revolutionary concepts in US history. But some people, when they hear feminism, think that it means that there are more than two genders or something, you know? Thanks for answering my question. I can definitely use this advice. Yes, it's so important that we talk about the process of converting and why we came to know the truth. Yeah, and you're going to help so many people convert too by talking about it. Anthony Hopkins was great as a Dr. Lecter. But Mary called God her savior. Why would she need a savior if she was conceived without sin? I don't think you guys understand Catholicism and Christianity in any way. Mary is constantly relying on Jesus' sacrifice and his strength every single moment. Like, the only reason that she was able to live free from sin and temptation is because of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross. So every single moment she was relying on Jesus. Every single moment he was her savior, and that she was able to be free from sin. It was only because of God's power, constantly God's power. And this is a thing too. People think that because Catholics believe we have to like actually have good works or we're not a Christian, people are like, you're saved based upon your works and not God. And it's like, no, we need God's power constantly to do any good actions. So we're constantly relying on God's power and God's salvation. Mary was constantly relying on God's power and God's salvation, and still is in heaven right now. So there's just not a dichotomy in any way. I like The Young Pope. I don't think they came out with another season. Have you seen The Life of Brian? Never heard of it. I don't have Netflix. I have Amazon Prime. Is The Young Pope on there? I do too. Is it, guys? I would love to watch it. You're so beautiful. Thank you. Hi from Brazil. Hello. Who's the saint on your medallion? Mary, who Jesus was her savior because she constantly had to rely on his power every single moment, just like all of us do. My boyfriend gave to me. I wear it to all my Catholic events. It's perfect. It's like jewelry for it. Hi, dear Lizzie. Hugs from Venezuela. Lustin Tagui. I discovered your channel recently and I so enjoy watching your videos. You are a great advisor and you are so nice and caring and positive. So wish I will actually get to talk to you one day. Yay! Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you found me. What's the meaning of communism capitalism? I think they're just trying to be funny with their username. That's my opinion on it. Why is my phone not charging? Is it charging now? Why is the NAB Bible harder to understand? I don't know. I attended Mass at the Cathedral of Per Lady of the Angels 2 weeks ago. It was so beautiful. The LA Cathedral, I've been there so many times. Hi from India. Hi. By ensuring Mary was conceived without sin, God saved her, so he is her savior. And everything Mary has ever done has been through God's power. Like, God does not need Mary in any way. He's just choosing to work through Mary in bringing Jesus into the world and in hearing our prayers. Like, God doesn't need Mary. He doesn't need me. He doesn't need you. He doesn't need any of us. It's all through only his power. Have you been playing with your godson? Yes! I got to babysit him yesterday, or not yesterday, 2 days ago, and then tomorrow too. If a family member is Buddhist, do you think God would allow them in heaven? I know it's much more complicated than that, but this family member is so loving, they don't deny God in any way. So there's a quote in the Catechism that talks about people who are non-Catholics that I really like. It says, "Those who through no fault of their own do not know of Christ or his church may obtain eternal salvation. In the first place, our brothers and sisters, the Jews and the Muslims." So it says that in the Catechism. Obviously, it's talking about Protestants too. So if someone has been given all the evidence that the Catholic Church is the original Christian church Jesus establishes, but they refuse to convert, but they know all that information, then they're at fault. But if you don't know all the information that the Catholic Church is the true Christian church, then you're not at fault and you're not going to hell because you didn't know. So I think it's a similar thing with your Buddhist friend. How old were you at your first date? I had like a boyfriend when I was 13, but it was like not a real, you know what I mean? What do you think? Why do you think God allows certain people to die young while others get to live until they're 100? I don't know. What does it mean to ask Mary to intercede? So in the Old Testament, so Jesus is king in the line of David. So King David from the Old Testament. In their Jewish monarchy, the mom of the king was the queen. So typically we think of a kingdom, the husband and wife are king and queen, but in the kingdom of, in the Jewish kingdom, it was the mom. So one of David's wives, Bathsheba, gave birth to Solomon. And so Solomon was the king and Bathsheba was the queen, even though she was the mom. And so Jesus being king and establishing the kingdom of heaven is within that same Jewish kingdom, the kingdom of David. Like all the prophecies about Jesus say it's in the line of David. And so Mary is his mother, so therefore she is the queen. And if you read in the Old Testament, in like 1 Kings and 1 Samuel and stuff, it shows that the mother was interceding for the people. So the people would go to the queen and ask her to share things with the king for him to do things. And there's an example of this where someone wants something done and they go to Bathsheba and they're like, please, can you ask for the king to do this on my behalf? And then because she talks to the king, he does the action because he listens the most to his mom as like his mentor and queen. So we believe the same thing about Mary. But obviously you can also pray to Jesus. You should be praying to God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit the absolute most. If you're praying to anyone, and that's the thing too, so like Old English, praying used to mean just talking. So when I say like, oh, I'm praying to Mary, or like I'm praying to Augustine, or I'm praying to Irenaeus, my patron saint, I don't mean like I'm worshiping them. I just mean I'm talking to them and asking them to pray for me. So because the word praying used to mean talking, we still use it in that vernacular, and then it gets confusing because people think that we're worshiping. When we're not worshiping, we're just being like, can you pray for me? Which is literally what I do with my friends on earth, right? I ask my mom, hey, can you pray for this? I ask my best friend Nicole, hey, can you pray for this? I tell my boyfriend Trevor, pray for this. And I'm not worshiping any of these people. I'm just asking them to pray for me. And it's the same thing where we ask people in heaven to pray for us. So, and in Revelation, it shows that there are souls around the throne of God interceding for people on earth. So, it's in the Bible, guys. Why? Hello, all. Hi, Veronica. Okay, Veronica, we're back to relationship advice. Yay. Should I ask this guy out to a mass? Yes, I've heard of many people going on dates before. He's Protestant and he invited me to one of his church events once. He's well aware of our faith differences, but I just want to introduce Catholicism to him. Yes. I've had friends who their only time at mass was because they were dating a Catholic and they're like, to go out with me, you have to come to mass with me once. So I think that's a great way to introduce someone to what you're passionate about in life. What are your views about karma? Don't agree with it. I have a hard time praying. I feel like I'm talking to myself. Okay, Amy, I recommend writing down prayers. That's how I first started to pray. I would like have a journal and I would like write out like, dear God, this happened today. Thank you for doing this in my life. I read this when I was reading Nehemiah. You're so amazing for acting like this in the world. And I just like write out a letter to God in a journal. And then I started feeling more comfortable just praying extemporaneously. I am listening through Tim Staples' conversion. Jimmy Swaggart made me Catholic, and it helps for me when I visit my family. I am reading through different apologetic ebooks to help me. That's so good. So many people have great conversion stories, and they're really inspiring. I'll try that. Thanks, Lizzie. What are your views on Michael, whatever? Do pets go to heaven? No. LOL, that child seems very happy. Amy, atheist out there with me. Oh, and when it comes to like journaling and stuff, I recommend keeping a journal where you can take like sermon notes and you can write down your favorite Bible verses, write down questions, and then if you ask people to answer your questions. So, yeah. Any atheists out there with me? I'm sure that there are atheists viewing this. I have a lot of atheists and agnostics on my channel, so yep. Animals do have souls though, they just have like a weaker form of a soul. So that doesn't last beyond death. So therefore animals aren't in heaven because they do not live forever. Hey Google account. Hi Google account. I didn't know you were streaming. I was just at mass. Hi. So cool. I was gonna go to daily mass this morning, but since I'm off my medicine, I woke up and I was so dizzy, so I was like, I'm not gonna go to mass today. What is your religion, may I ask? I just got here. I'm Catholic. I converted into Catholicism in 2017. I was Protestant my whole life, but then I researched and I was like, oh, the first church that Jesus started believed all the things that the Catholic Church believes. Maybe Jesus started the Catholic Church. Just got back from mass. Wow, everyone just got back from mass. Do you guys go, what time is it right now? I guess you guys go to like noon mass or something? Do you believe that the Catholic Church is the only true church? I am Orthodox, and I feel like both of our churches are part of the original true church that Jesus started. Yes, the original church was Catholic Orthodox, and then the 6 Oriental Orthodox churches, so like Syriac, Ethiopian, Eritrean, Coptic, Armenian, 6 Oriental Orthodox. I forgot one of them. Almost 11 a.m. Pacific. Our mass is at 7 a.m. It's not the same as a human soul. They have hearts, yes, but it's different from a soul, at least from humans. I need to get my behind to mass soon. I think I'm gonna go, guys. We've been streaming for almost an hour and a half. I've learned the most through converts. Maybe I should just go get water. I'm really thirsty. I super want. I want to go on a run soon too. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. My friend just gave me water. Does saying mama count as a baby talking, guys? Do you want to weigh in on this? Saying mama. Is that talking or is that just making sounds? Hi, A Catholic Mom's Life. What are your views on people quitting Vatican II and going for the Trent Council? Just leave Catholicism at that point. You don't trust church authority at all. Moises! Aw, he's so happy. What?
Do they want to meet him?
They do. Do you want them to meet him? You guys want to meet my godson? This is Moises. He is 14 months old?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super sweet. So he's named after Moses in the Bible. That's so cute. What were you saying you want your other son to be named?
Aaron.
Aaron? Isn't that so cool? Because Aaron and Moses are brothers. It's the sweetest thing. Wow, we have a famous YouTuber in the chat. I think it's so cool when other YouTubers comment in other people's live streams, because obviously people who are YouTubers are obsessed with YouTube and so watch a lot of other YouTubers, and so then it's interesting seeing like who people watch. He's so cute. I'm getting a lot of baby nieces and nephews as well. Aw, that cutie pie. Aw, he's so cute. OMG, he's so sweet. Hearts. Oh, hey, Catholic Mom's Life. I watch your videos sometimes. Heather, I love your channel. Water is very bad for you. There's a lot of extra hormones in there and fat. It's worse than meat. Yeah, water is horrible. I'm going to die young of a heart attack for sure because of drinking water. Oh my gosh, Piper. Someone just said today is Saint Moses' feast day in the old calendar. That's so cool. He shall become a great warrior someday. Have you heard of Blessed Chiara Lua? No. I'm trying to get this thing to like stand up on its own. We should put more emphasis on the Old Testament saints. Absolutely. Not enough emphasis goes on the Old Testament in general. I mean, like, we do read from the Old Testament, but I wish the art had more of the Old Testament and stuff. Like, one of my friends who just converted in, she complains about how Catholics don't know a lot about, like, Elijah and Enoch and Moses. Like, we don't talk about them or ask them to pray for us as much as people, like, more recent saints. And I think it's cool. Like, the people in the scripture are some of the most epic people part of the faith. Have you heard of Slightly Offensive Lizzie? No, is it a YouTube channel? Hi James, welcome. Where is Enoch and Elijah in the Bible? We should put more. Howdy from the great state of Texas. How do you guys feel about California becoming its own country and Texas becoming its own country? How would that affect everything? Sorry about your meds. I can handle a daily mass without my anxiety. I can barely handle a daily mass without my anxiety meds if I forget. I take lorazepam. So do you have social anxiety too as a part of everything? I don't want them to be separate. We don't want what to be separate. We need more beautiful, hot women like you to pray. That's such a weird thing to say. Yeah, social anxiety. I had a friend in college who like couldn't go to church without like she literally couldn't go to church because she had so much anxiety just going into the building. I don't understand. That's so scary being in that kind of state. My doctor just put my anti something 2 times a day. Thanks for recommending me to take it. Wait, what is it? Azepam? I'm sleeping now. Bye. Bye. I don't know what country you live in. Where do you live? I don't want them to be separate. My doctor just put me on how can the Roman Catholic Church and Eastern Orthodox Church be considered together when they have fundamental disagreements on doctrine. I made a video about this called I'm Becoming Orthodox, question mark, exclamation mark, and I talked about how we could actually unite, and Vatican II put like less of a focus on the Pope, and so I think if we kept going in that direction, then Orthodox could unite with Catholics, because that's really their issue. They just wish that there was like a bit less power that the Pope could have, and he doesn't have to have like as much power as he has, you know? He just has to be the first among equals and solve occasional disputes. I remember the last time Sesta started to leave the USA Civil War. Is feminism and Christianity compatible with each other? There are so many different definitions of feminism. It's impossible to talk about this unless we wrote out like a thesis like this long talking about what we mean, you know? Freemasonry supports indifferentism. That's one reason why it's condemned. The rituals they do, like making anti-Christian oaths, is one reason why Masonry is forbidden. No kidding. What kind of power should the Pope eliminate? He should have less nitpicky on deciding which bishop is in every church. Like anytime there's a new bishop, the Pope has to approve it. I think that the local people should be more in charge of that. Like it's unnecessary for them to be like nitpicking everything. The people used to pick like who their new bishops were like in the 2nd century or something, and then things started to change, you know. You don't really need medicine. You've just been through a lot in your life. I really haven't. I haven't had that much trauma. And your heart just needs comfort. I feel my heart is really comforted, and that doesn't help my bipolar. They have also tried to take down the church throughout history, including their influence in the French-Russian Revolution. Should we get rid of papal infallibility? It's impossible to get rid of papal infallibility. It's objectively part of the church. It always has been. Obviously, the way it's defined, it was defined in a specific way, but it's throughout church history whenever there have been big disputes, you know? Someone is like, please say this term. I'm sure when I say it, it's gonna come out and be a curse word or something. No, I'm not gonna say it. Have you ever wanted to visit Australia? Yes, I think Australia would be really beautiful. If I ever get flown out to speak there, I would say yes if they asked me to come. Absolutely. Can you say Lizzie? I don't know what you guys are trying to trick me into saying. I'm not chill with that. Do you think cursing is a sin? Cursing someone out is a sin, but just saying a word is not a sin, obviously. Using God's name in vain is a mortal sin. Absolutely not. But if you say it, like you have to intentionally say God's name in vain, so if it's just something that is like part of your vocabulary from before you became religious, then I can kind of understand, but don't say it, it's offensive. Okay, it's probably in a different language or something, right? Would you ever visit Canada? I have been to Canada twice. I've been to Alberta, Canada, and I've been to Victoria. Just saw a video where a guy lost his wife during the hurricane because she drowned to death. Let's pray for them. That's horrifying. Oh my gosh, it's getting so bad. Whoa. That's so scary. My parents are in Florida, so the hurricane may hit them too, but they have, like, houses are built in a certain way, so it's, like, impossible to die kind of thing. In Canadian French, chalice, tabernacle, and host are swear words. What? That's wild. I mean, it makes sense because France is such a Catholic country. A lot of things can be sins that we must do better by the younger generation that watches us. I think the meaning of using God's name in vain is misunderstood. I mean, we could have like a 50-hour discussion about that. One of my best friends, Nicole, has a really strong thing about that she thinks like using God's name in vain through not living your actions is like what it really means, but it means both. Like, you also just shouldn't use God's name in vain. I think that words are really powerful and create new realities. I mean, I know that. I don't just think that. Well, I will pray for your parents. Thank you so much. Wait, how are they curse words? It doesn't make sense. It's kind of like how people use God as a curse word because it's so powerful, so they'll say it in a flippant way. So then they'll also say other spiritual words as curse words. They say it when they're upset. Yeah. That's really, really messed up. That makes me angry. God's name is so sacred. Getting the idea. This is so ridiculous. Hide user on this channel. I keep hiding this person on my channel and they keep coming back. Do you know the patron saint of bipolar? We don't have a patron saint of bipolar. So if I die, guys, ask for my intercession for your mental illness and I'll heal someone's bipolar and then we can do a medical miracle, okay, guys? I really want there to be a saint of bipolar disorder. I live in BC, Canada, up north from Victoria. Victoria is beautiful, I know. It's like shouting, yep, thank you for explaining to them. I don't, Saint Dimphna, right? She's not the saint of bipolar. She's the saint of mental illness. Sorry, but like saying bipolar is like any other mental illness is actually like really offensive. Like they're completely different, right? Hi, I'm from Halton City. Thank you for understanding, Joshua. I was like, how are you not like getting this? I'm from Texas. Saint Lizzie? No. There's already Saint Lizzie. That would be so funny, Lizzie. Because I feel like Lizzie is a very casual way of saying Elizabeth. So, guess you and me, bipolar and plus antisocial. Hi, Marilyn. I don't understand what you mean by that. Amazon Synod Lizzie, trads are like, it's going to be the apocalypse. What do you think? Is your name Elizabeth? Yeah, I was named after Elizabeth in the Bible. So it's actually really cool when I pray the rosary because my middle name is Marie Mary. So my whole name is a lie on my YouTube, I know. I just needed a good stage name for my YouTube channel that sounded good together. Hey guys, it's Elizabeth. Yeah, I don't really use Elizabeth. But Elizabeth Mary, Elizabeth Marie. So when I say in the rosary, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. And then, blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. So when I'm saying that part of the rosary, I'm like, me, Elizabeth, to Mary, Elizabeth Marie. So I think that's really cool. I always think of that when I pray the rosary because I'm named after them. And I didn't even think about that because Marie is not Mary, you know what I mean? But when I was becoming confirmed, we were adding saints to you know how during the Easter Vigil when people are getting confirmed, they're like, so-and-so, pray for us, so-and-so, pray for us, like on and on, the Litany of Saints, that's what it's called. So they were going to put our names, our birth names, also into the Litany of Saints, so they were like Elizabeth and Mary. And I was like, what? I never thought of it like that before, so. Saint Lizzie of Los Angeles. guys saying earlier? You were talking about because someone was like, I'm from blank country, and then you were like, I'm from California something, California province or something, Los Angeles. Love your channel. Hi, Mariha. Thank you for being here. Hi from Madrid. Hi. As I understand, you believe justification is through faith and works. How then do you exegete? I made a whole video called Saved by Faith Alone is wrong was in all caps, so I highly recommend watching that video. I explain all the Bible verses and exegete it really in depth, so go watch that video. I don't want to explain it when I have an entire video beautifully edited, you know what I mean? I am not allowed to wear my Catholic medals at work? What? Sue that company. But the Muslims I work with can wear their hijabs. I don't get it. I don't either. That's pretty awful. In everyday life, what do people call you? Liz and Lizzie. Some of my friends, like actual close friends, call me Lizzie, and actually like a lot of people in my life, but my family calls me Liz, my boyfriend calls me Liz. Just as Italy was the center of the world, now Los Angeles is the center of the world. Wait, what? You really think that? LA is the biggest diocese in the world. Moises is trying to communicate wisdom to us right now. Here in Quebec, you cannot wear any religious symbols at work. That's so ridiculous. When Italy was the center of the world. You should model, Liz. I actually wanted to for a while and applied to different modeling agencies maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, but I'm too old. You're supposed to get started in modeling at like 14 or 15, and my mom refused because she's like, I want you to be intellectual. I want you to have an intellectual career. And instead I ended up having a career where I'm on camera every day, so... At least in the US, I don't see the LA as the archdiocese as the biggest in the world. We are though. We're like, we have the most like population just because they didn't break up the diocese. So, yeah. But I do model on my Instagram and stuff. I do like a ton of photo shoots. So, yeah. 321 fan, hashtag following. Make sure to thumbs up the video, guys. Thank you everyone who has thumbs up the video. The antisocial personality keeps me away from the harmful toxic environment because I'll rather smile, laugh under instead of negative people want to argue. What? Are you manic right now? I don't understand. I have to go. Love seeing your beautiful face, Lizzie. Bye. Have a nice rest of your day. What if I laid down my life to rely on you? Are you manic? I don't understand. I don't think you will never too old. People will always look up to you. What do you think about honor killings? Evil. My diocese is one of the largest land-wise, 55,000 square miles. Oh, okay. Yeah, I meant population. You mean like physically the biggest diocese. I mean, probably the biggest diocese would have the least amount of people because it's like there's not enough people and that's why it's becoming bigger. You know what I mean? I don't know. Thank you, my moderator. Google account? How are you not a moderator? You're now a moderator on my channel. You're such a regular. Of course you should be a moderator. Can the laity of the Catholic Church cast out demons? I'm pretty sure anyone technically could, but they have people who are specifically there to cast out demons. So, like, how is the biggest diocese not in Italy, Spain, or Brazil? It's just because we have, like, all of LA County and... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. It's just, for some reason, the most people in LA. It's one of the biggest cities in the world, honestly. And there's so many Asians, Hispanics, white people, every ethnicity ever who's Catholic is living here. Awesome. Congrats, Google account. I love how you guys are excited to be moderators. You have so much power now to get rid of sexually explicit comments. Yesterday was so awful. There were so many people commenting sexually explicit things. It was so sad. Do you ever deal with Muslim arguments from Islam? Actually, no. Los Angeles is the new Vatican. A lot of people will get offended by that, but sure. Anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna go. I've been here for an hour and a half. Saint Google account. That's the real saint we need to pray to be beatified. I think I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna eat some leftover pasta, and then we're gonna go to the park, and then I'm gonna go running. Every diocese has an exorcist. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. No, the rule originally was created for hijabs and turbans. French Canadians are very xenophobic, but the government was accused of being xenophobic, so they banned all religious symbols. Huh. Google account sounds very anonymous. I wanted him to change it for a long time, but now we've just like gotten used to Google account, so it will never change. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Will the popes have learned English now instead of Latin? We have 1 million people in my city alone. Wow, that's wild. That's like a lot of people, guys. Anyways, thank you. Feel the burn. God rewards those who labor. I don't understand what you're saying. Anyways, thank you for being here, guys. We covered a lot of topics. We talked about relationships. We talked about veganism, and we talked about Catholicism. We did like all of my channel's topics, and bipolar disorder a lot too. So we talked about all of my channel content in a single video. It's been a really fun live stream. Thank you everyone for contributing. I'll do a couple Zooms so we can be like, it can be true Lizzie video. I love you guys so much. Thank you for making us smile, Lizzie. I hope you will have a wonderful day and always keep smiling. There's nothing that is worth your smile. Oh well, congrats Google account. Hi from Czech Republic. Hello, that's awesome. Hope we both live chat together soon. Bye Lizzie. Door slam. Okay, I will see you guys in my next video.